Welcome to this week's edition of Black Authors Matter TV, where we interview the latest movers and shakers in the African American literary community. You'll meet some old friends, discover new ones, and stay abreast of the latest book developments around the country and even the world. So sit back and relax for the next 2 hours with Black Authors Matter TV co-hosts Gwen Richardson and Dr. Rhonda Lawson.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Black Authors Matter TV. I'm Gwen Richardson, your host for tonight, along with my co-host,
Dr. Rhonda Lawson. Good evening, everyone.
And I'm going to take 30 seconds to fix my screen because when I tried to switch it, I got this green thing again. So let me hold on. Let me fix it.
Well, hope everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday. I just figured I'd keep them entertained until you got back. Now what's going on?
I'm getting it fixed. It's still doing it. It's still.
That's okay. The show must go on, Gwen. We'll just.
I know. I just hate having that green glow. I thought I had it fixed, and now I can't even. Okay. All right. Maybe this is it. Okay. There you go. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't know. When I did stop video just so I could do an adjustment, and I came back, it was messed up. But anyway, welcome to this week's show. I apologize for the glitch. And we're going to have another amazing show tonight. We also have a video to show you all from one of our authors who want you to know about their work. And as you all know, the National Black Book Festival is imminent. So we're going to talk about that later on because we do have a segment where we had one of the guests wasn't able to come on. So we'll talk more about that during that time of the show. Our first guest is a very relevant topic that she's going to be discussing. And she logged in twice, so I'm not sure which one she wants to use. So I just logged on to both of them, and then she can decide which one she wants. I'm sure it's two different devices, and she was trying to make sure she was logged in. But our first guest, her name is Cheryl Tyler. And hi, Cheryl, how are you? Welcome to Black Authors Matter TV.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I was just introducing you. Now, do you want me to remove the other box? You're logged in twice.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
remove the other one. Okay.
Okay.
Cheryl was the first Black female Secret Service agent.
No, the first Black female Secret Service agent to protecting
the president.
Okay. Yes.
Well, you know, most of the time when we think of the Secret Service, we think of the president anyway. But we want to be exact and clear about what your role was.
I give homage to the first Black woman. She's deceased now. She died last year. And she was only there for 5 years. Her name was Zandra Fleminster. And she went on to State Department. So yes.
Okay. But you were actually protecting the president of the United States.
Correct.
And you were in the Secret Service doing that during which administration?
I was assigned to President Bush 1, and to President Clinton. I came in during a transition time where they switched parties, and one was out and the other one was coming in. So it's a unique situation to be in.
Right. So Cheryl has written a book about her travails or her successes and her frustrations and just her journey as a Secret Service agent. And in these times that we're in now, where the Secret Service, the whole agency, is under scrutiny for, I would call it, sometimes when you're in a position for a long time and nothing happens, you get kind of lax.
Yeah.
And you lose your focus on what the original intention mission should be. And so, but right now we're hearing a lot about the Secret Service. Normally they're kind of in the background and you really don't hear about them. You don't have them coming to testify before Congress, not about a screw up. You might have them testify, but not about that. So tell us, one, what made you interested in being in the Secret Service?
Well, as I state in my book, it was an era where women, number one, were not prominent, I'll say, in law enforcement. Um, I watched The Untouchables and The Wild Wild West with my father as a little kid. And that was our weekend Saturday time to watch those two shows. So I just got to watching them all the time. And funny, I put them together later in life. But I always thought Elliot Ness just was the dapper dresser. And James Adams was the wild, fight and kick butt man. And so I wanted to figure out how to do that, but look like a lady all the time.
So you wanted to be the dapper dresser who could fight and kick butt.
That was it. That was it.
Yeah.
That was
And
it.
for the audience, a lot of people may not realize that there was an Untouchable show before the Kevin Costner movie that came on in was it the 70s or the 60s? It was one of the decades.
Yes, I think it was in the 70s. I think so. I remember that. But yes, I go back to the original.
The original. Okay, so there was one, because I've seen the episodes, like I think they had them on Netflix or Hulu or Tubi or one of those, where the original, he had a very distinct voice, and I think he did voice work.
Yes, he did.
I can't remember his name, but
yeah, I can't remember
the one that played
name.
Elliot Ness.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Wild Wild West was way before Will Smith. That was a remake, and it wasn't even that good a remake, but that was
you had
show
to know
too.
the real history, and I was kind of a nerd back then, and still kind of a trivial nerd buff on law enforcement things. For what I have no reason, nobody in my family was ever in law enforcement.
Okay,
But Adam West was from Pinkerton Security, and Pinkerton Security is what most people know from way back, but Pinkerton is how it all started.
Okay, yeah, that's because Pinkerton was like an investigative, but a private company. Wasn't it a private company?
Yes.
That did investigations, detective work, and I think it was bank robberies or
money. Yes,
money.
they
Okay,
were
it was money
part of money. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's interesting that you watched that with your dad.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why I'm wondering, because I watched a lot of shows growing up. But what was it that stuck with you that said, this is what I want to do? Because I'm sure you watched a lot of shows with your dad, but what was it about this?
I have tried to put a finger on it, and I really don't know. I watched Lucille Ball. I watched what was that other movie? Back then you didn't have a lot of choices of television shows,
Right.
but the Gleason, what was his name? Jackie Gleason show. We watched all kinds of shows, and we watched cowboy stories because I had two brothers. But it was something about that particular show that just held my attention all the time. And like I said, nobody in my family was in law enforcement at all. They were in the medical field or else in education.
Wow. So you're the first person to venture out and do something like this.
Totally different.
Did your family think you were crazy?
My mother just kind of like, if you're back in that era, I did all the girl things. I was a ballerina. I played musical instruments. I was like the tutus and all the little stuff. And my mother was a girly girl. And when I decided to reveal to the family what I was going to do, my mother just, it was at Thanksgiving, and my mother just got up and walked out the room and went and
Mhm.
smoked a cigarette. And my brothers were like, whoa, that's great. We got a sister. She can be a badass. Okay. Oh, and my father was like, okay. My parents were, I give a lot of credit to them, and I'm very thankful for having the type of parents that I did. They encouraged us to be whatever it was that we wanted to be. And they encouraged us to follow whatever dream it was. And whether they knew it or understood it, it didn't make a difference. And they told us, we will support you. We may not know what it is, but we will be there. But whatever it is, you be the best at whatever it is you want to be.
Okay. Now, did you
That's
go straight
wonderful.
to the Secret Service, or did you go a military route or law enforcement route, or
I went
how
the
did you
route
walk
that
in the door to the Secret
I
Service?
sure did. That is what is the most ironic thing about me, but I- if people who know me know, no, that's they will say that's Tyler. If she wants something, she will go after it. They recruited at a lot of the historical Black colleges, but they were recruiting for men. They never came. I went to Spelman, so they never came to Spelman, ever.
Okay.
And it wasn't until I worked for the Internal Revenue Service, which was down the street from the Secret Service's headquarters.
Mhm.
And I went on a lunch break and told them that I came in and I said, I'd like to speak to someone because I was doing a paper for my degree and I wanted to get some information on them. They gave me all the pamphlets and all the information. The guy came out, talked to me and everything, said, if you need something else, be sure, come back and see us. 2 weeks later, I came back and I said, I'm back again and I wanted to get some more information. They let me talk to another guy, brought me in. And then I said, well, I haven't been honest with you. I said, I came here because I want to be a Secret Service agent.
And did their
And
mouths just drop?
yeah, I was gonna say
They
that your
did.
mouth just open.
And I was just like,
Okay.
so I've read everything there is. So now what do I do? So
Yeah,
it went from
that was
there.
bold. That was
Yeah.
It's
confident.
very bold.
Mhm.
I look back now and I'm like, I really was bold.
You,
So, but
yeah, you would like to meet that person that you were back there.
I would love to
Sometimes,
know who
yeah,
that was.
sometimes when you look back on things when you stepped
Yeah.
out to do something different, you know.
Yeah.
So that was
Right.
really something different.
Yeah, it was I just never thought,
So then what
no.
happened?
Well, then they told me the process of what you had to do. You had to study and take this test. And it was like taking the GMAT or the LSAT all over again. So I had to study for that and study. And that was about a 4-hour test. And I did the test and passed. And then that's not just it. That's the beginning. Training is roughly almost a year.
Okay.
And you go away for you learn law. You learn law, learn arrest procedures, you learn shooting, you learn basic defense, you learn a lot of the administrative things in the beginning session of training. And once you complete that training, then you come to the Secret Services school and you train again more specifically for what their jurisdictions are. And most people don't realize, but the Secret Service was founded for the suppression of counterfeit money. They protect the currency of the country's money.
Mm.
And everybody always thinks it's the FBI, but it's not.
Yeah, weren't they part of the
Treasury.
alcohol?
Mm-mm,
Were they part of that one? The
mm-mm.
Treasury Department. That's
Treasury
the department they
Department.
were in.
Right.
Okay. Before, and then they ended up getting moved to Homeland Security.
Yeah,
Mhm.
big mistake. That's
Yeah,
just
they
my
probably need to be
opinion.
back to Treasury
They
because
should.
under Homeland Security, I think when they did Homeland Security, it was really because it was right after 9/11 and they were trying to consolidate all these departments into one. But I think it just created too much of a bureaucracy
It did.
And now it's just bloated.
Yes.
And it's like, no, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing.
It's about 6
It's too
agencies within the Department of Homeland Security. And Secret
right.
Service really does need to be off by itself. It
I
really does.
can kind of see why they felt like it should be lumped in, but I do agree that because of the nature of what the Secret Service does, it should be probably under a different agency. A lot of people don't know I actually worked for the Department of Homeland Security myself,
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, I'm under CBP,
Okay.
and
Okay.
but it feels strange when we have our sync meetings and then they say Secret Service. I'm like, oh yeah, they do belong over here.
They're just, they need to just be over there. They just need to
Yes.
be over there. Um, as you opened, Secret Service has been one of those agencies that you knew they existed, but you really didn't really know what they did.
I think that's a good thing though.
Oh,
Yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't think the
Definitely.
public really needs to be really
right.
all looking through what's going on with Secret Service. And then, like Gwen was mentioning, unfortunately, there have been a few. I'm not even talking about the Donald Trump incident, but even prior to them, there have
Hmm.
been some mishaps that have put the Secret Service on the forefront of the news, and it brings
Exactly.
more attention. And
Right.
I know when I go out and let's say I'm going out to the border or I'm going this or this place or that place and Secret Service is there, I appreciate the fact that they blend in.
Yes.
That I don't really know it's a Secret Service until one of my colleagues said, "Hey, he's Secret Service, just don't talk to him." I'm like, okay, I understand now. But I think that's the way it should be. Let them blend in.
That's it. That's all they do. And I had someone tell me, I did a interview not too long ago, and the gentleman came to meet me at the location. And I knew what was going to happen. First thing he said to me, he said, I never would have pictured you to have done that. I said, well, let me ask you, what was I supposed to look like? And he
You're
said,
supposed to be a
A
little
I don't
white
know.
round. You're
guy,
supposed to be a little light skinned,
a
you
white guy
know,
would say
a
with
little bit more
sunglasses.
testosterone.
That's it. And it's like, you know, as one person asked me a while back, they said, you know, it was a headhunter, and they said, we can't find female Secret Service agents. I said, there's a lot of them around. They said, yeah, they're retired, but how? I said, there are more than you realize.
Mm,
Mhm.
And she asked me, she said, are there a lot of Black women? I said, more than you realize. I mean, it's not a whole ton because the
Right.
agency is small itself.
Mhm.
And
mm,
so if you remember when the acting director was testifying on the Hill, one of my colleagues, she and I were talking about it, and he said, they were getting into the knit and grit about recruiting and getting people to come on the job, and what is the problem, what's the holdup, and this and that. And he said, look, he said, you have to realize we get thousands of applications, but only 2% make it. And she and I both said, well, dang. 2%. We must be really bad. If we did the 2%, So it's it
Bad
is
in a good
not,
way. You're saying bad
yeah,
in the good
it's
bad.
not a job for everybody.
Everybody, right.
right.
It
Well,
really is.
now let me ask you now the women. You said that there are more women than people were thinking. I'm sure that's Black or white.
Mhm.
But do they realize the trailblazer who's standing in front of them? I mean, when you were there and you were active, did people realize that you were the first?
Yeah, a lot did. When the lawsuit happened, they really did. There was another female and myself who were part of that lawsuit. It was 7 of us all together. And they knew. They knew exactly who we were. The fact that I'm still here in Washington, D.C., and the work that I do now, I run into a lot of agents all the time at different venues that I'm working. And people, I know what they're going through, so I stay out of their way. And I'm like, I'm over here, my crew is here. If you need something, just let me know. If you need us to move, just let us know, and I'll move the people. And they're like, no, you're so and so. Oh no, you know what we're doing. I said, well, kinda. I don't know your itinerary. They're like, no, you understand. And you do understand how they think. It is a different way of thinking. And having had the opportunity to be a training instructor as well and teach protection, it's a lot. It's a lot that's going on in their minds. As both of you have said, they've been under the microscope for the most minute things as well as some of the
Right.
big things. And, everybody immediately jumped to the female that, was up there on the stage and why didn't she do this? I said, every last one of them did what they were supposed to do. I said, I
Right.
don't think you know if too many people would use their body as a human shield to protect somebody. And that's what they
Exactly.
did.
That takes
I,
a
I think
special.
back to when on the attempted assassination of Ronald Reagan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I do remember how the Secret Service basically jumped in front. You have to be willing, whether you agree with this person's politics or not,
And
you
that's
have
what's
to be
hard.
willing
Yes.
to use your body as a shield to protect this person at all costs.
Right.
And I'm quite sure that that's something that I'm not going to ask you to go through all of the training that you have to go through for that, but I'm sure that that's something that's ingrained in you, that it's not about the politics of the person. It's the office that you're protecting.
And you're right. And it really, to be honest, it doesn't, there's not a course on it. There's not a class and a long discussion about it, because you wouldn't have made it this far if you didn't know that this is about the Constitution of this country. It's not about the individual. Now, as times have changed, it has become somewhat about the individual. But in reality, the job is not about the person. And you're absolutely correct. There are things that you may agree with that person's policies and you may disagree with that person's policies, but that's not what you got hired for.
Right.
You got hired to make sure the leader of the free world stays alive.
Right.
And
Now,
that's
we
what
don't have that
like
much time left, so I do want you to talk a little bit about how you were able to parlay your experience in the Secret Service into an entrepreneurial endeavor in the security industry.
I do, well, when you do advances, you're doing advances your entire career. So you're meeting the right people, the locations there's certain things that you have to do for every place that a politician goes to. And whether it be the president or the vice president, first ladies, or a foreign head of a country, there are certain things that you have to check out. There's certain things that you have to make sure are working properly. And if something goes wrong, you have an answer to that solution. Um, so I've done that. I had done that for so many years, day in and day out. And it was like, this is second nature to me. Why don't I just have my own business and do security logistics for major events? And 15 years later, I'm still doing it.
Okay, and what is the name of your company?
It's called CLT3 Security Consulting.
Okay, and do you work mainly in the DC area, or are you working in all different kinds of
I work anywhere.
locations? Do you work internationally? Do you do?
We have done some work overseas. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Those are hard. Those are hard because you have to know the rules and regulations of other countries and you have to know what you
Right.
can and can't do. So,
Yeah, and the language, is language an
language
issue?
has never stopped me. Language has never stopped me. And that's not to say it's okay. I don't speak fluently a foreign language, but I've managed to figure out how to maneuver in various parts of the world.
Okay, wow.
Well, I think it's wonderful that you were able to take your experience basically as working Homeland Security or working Secret Service, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And you're able to apply what you've learned and put it toward continuing to protect.
Yes,
Is that the way you see what you do, that you're continuing to protect?
I do. And as some of my clients who are repeat clients that I have said to me always, they said, there's just something different about what you do than other companies do. And it's because I pay attention. I'm a meticulously detailed person. I mean, overly meticulous, and have no problem in sending you home right then and there if you can't do the job.
Come on, okay.
Mhm.
It's
So
my
how many people
reputation.
do you have working for you?
I don't have a full staff on site all the time. I work whenever I don't want it to come out the wrong way, but I work whenever I see the better opportunity for me to take, and that's when I work.
But,
Oh,
and
I
I'll
okay.
do
bet
have a
people,
standard group of people that I always work with.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you kind of contract, I'm guessing, as you
Yes.
need.
Kind of as
Okay.
you need it.
And
Mhm.
I'll bet as you're contracting people and they finally see who this person is who owns the company, it's probably the same reaction that people gave you when you were working in Secret Service. They don't believe that this is an
Exactly.
African-American woman who owns this company, this very successful company.
Exactly. I have stood next to an employee and people have asked that employee, so how long have you had the company? And he said, I don't. I work for her.
You should
They
go
Yeah.
have,
on Undercover Boss. People
But
would
then,
never realize.
and it's the
then
best.
their
It's the
teeth
best.
drop out.
Yeah. I
So
look
we
at it
only
this
have a
way.
couple of minutes left, but I did want to, I see the book behind you.
Yes, that's it.
It's called
Yes.
Trailblazer.
And the book was just released September 16th, which is my mother's birthday, which is
Oh,
cool.
All right. See, you'll remember that.
Yes, absolutely. How has the reaction been so far?
I've gotten emails and text messages from several friends, and they're like, I never knew this was about, I don't, this isn't the person that I've known all these years. And they're like, gee, you kept this. And it's like, yeah, but it's still me. And so it's been good so far. It's been good. We have our first book signing in a couple of weeks.
Where's the book signing?
It's going to be here in DC.
I'm
At
in
which
DC, so I
bookstore?
might want to come to
She's
it.
in the
Oh,
DMV.
it's
Mhm.
at the
Yes.
where Friendship Heights is in Chevy Chase, right at the
Yes.
border. It's at the Friendship Heights Community Center.
Okay, well, I will have to make sure that I
I'll
keep in
send the
touch.
info to you.
Yes, please do, because I
Okay.
live in the DC area. I live in
Okay.
Accokeek, Maryland, actually.
Oh, yes.
So
Yeah.
yes, I would love to come out and support.
Okay, great. I appreciate it. I've had one of the furthest away person, my best friend in Australia, got her book
Wow.
before everybody else did here. We used to live in New York at the same time, and she got it. So she loved it.
Okay, well, I guess I have no excuse. I'm just down the street.
There you go. There you go. Well,
Yeah.
this has
Now,
been great.
yeah, in the final minute we have, what's something that you like one of the biggest surprises that you had being a secret that like a short version because it might be a long situation,
A
but one of the
surprise?
biggest surprises you had that you didn't expect, something unexpected when you got in the Secret Service, or was there did you study so much with all the information they gave you that everything was expected?
Um, I wouldn't say surprise. I think some of the challenges that you have that you don't know you're going to encounter, and still to this day, stick with me and really are very challenging still. And that's dealing with someone who is mentally ill that makes a threat towards a protectee.
Oh, wow.
Those, that is and I've dealt with a lot of people like that.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
that's something that stays with you.
I bet. That opened the door to a whole nother topic, but we're at the end of our time.
And there'll be another time. That's it.
Yeah. So thank you so much for being a guest on the show. Congratulations on the release of your book.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that we're going to be hearing more from you. And the timing, I know you didn't know the timing was going to be what it was when you did this, but your
No,
timing is impeccable. Sometimes we just, meet the moment.
there you go. I always say God works in mysterious ways.
This
Amen
is
to that.
true.
Thank
All
you,
right.
ladies, very much. It was very nice meeting you.
It was
Same
very nice
here.
meeting you as well. God bless
You
you and all
stay
you do.
safe out there, and I will send you the information.
All right.
Okay.
Thank
Have
you.
a great evening.
Bye-bye.
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 Okay, so if you all didn't know that there's a first Black person for a lot of positions, and Cheryl Tyler was the first Black woman in the Secret Service to protect a president of the United States. So that's an amazing accomplishment and something that I don't know if I've ever seen, to my knowledge, a Black woman Secret Service agent. I've seen men, and I'm sure they're out there, but sometimes they're kind of incognito, So I don't. You
Right.
probably have, Rhonda, since you work for
Actually,
Homeland Security.
believe it or
Have
not,
you?
in the few times that I've worked with Secret Service, I have not run across a Black woman just yet.
Oh, okay. You're in Homeland Security, so
Yeah. Are you hearing an echo?
no.
In the few
Well,
times-
now I am.
All right, let me see if I can fix that really quickly.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'll bring on our next guest, and there's two people. Everybody froze on her end. That was Stephanie Byrne saying everybody froze on her end. So I'm not frozen, and Rhonda's not frozen. So it might just be your connection, Steph. So
Stephanie, that's you. You got to stop
Yeah.
using dial-up.
I remember dial-up. When we
Me
first
too.
started Kush City, it was dial-up 25 years ago. It was dial-up, and it took forever. It took forever.
And we thought it was fast. And
We
then all of a
did. We
sudden-
thought it was, and it was revolutionary at the time. But then once you got into the other mechanisms, DSL, or what was the one, the T1 lines, and then when the internet was full blown and you had Wi-Fi, and then but the dial-up was a major innovation.
Yeah, and I mean, if you thought you were doing something, when you heard that little squeaky, high-pitched sound, you're like, oh, it's connecting. Yes.
Yeah. It took forever. It was slow as all get out. So anyway, our next guest is Barry Robinson. And I had two people sign on. Neither one said Barry Robinson. I don't know which one she is, or if she could
You are
be
having a time today, Gwen.
Yeah, all kinds.
Well,
So
we
she could
would
be
like to
both.
we would like to welcome our guest, iPhone Sagona, to the
Sagana,
to the
or
chat.
the other one is Zoom user. And so let's see, maybe that's it. Let's see which one.
Thank you, iPhone Sagana and Zoom user, for joining us tonight.
I
And
am.
we're on the
Did
hunt
you
for
say
Barry
Shauna?
Robinson. Sagana.
No, I'm Shauna.
Shauna. Okay,
Shauna.
Shauna, we're waiting for Barry Robinson, and that's the only person that's supposed to be on the Zoom.
Oh, okay.
If you're watching, you should be watching from Facebook.
Oh,
This was only the guests are not supposed to share this link with others.
oh, I was supposed to be on at 8:30.
Okay. Okay, so wait a minute. Now I'm thoroughly confused. Okay. So you're Shauna McNamara?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought Vicky
Okay,
Radabaugh.
no, Vicky Radabaugh said she couldn't come on. So Barry Robinson is who's supposed to be on right now.
Okay.
No, Shauna McNamara is supposed to be on last.
At 8:30. Which is,
So-
if you're on the East Coast, is 9:30.
Okay, then I'll see you at 9:30.
Okay. All right. Now, the Zoom user, can you let me have you?
I'll just get out.
Yeah, just dial back
log back
in.
in at
Log back
9:30.
in
All right,
at
thank
that
you.
time.
Thank you.
Okay, you're
Bye-bye.
welcome. Bye-bye. Okay, now is this Barry Robinson? Okay, so it just said Zoom user, so I didn't know who it was. So can you unmute so we can hear you?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so sorry for the confusion, but sometimes that happens when people are in different time zones, especially people who are on the East Coast, and they don't look, and I know this from being from the East Coast myself. When they see a time, they just think it's the Eastern time. They don't, even if you put CST, they don't read
Yeah,
it.
see,
They just think it's
I live
Eastern.
on the East Coast, and I think everybody should be living by my time.
Yeah, that's true. But
Well,
this
West
show
Coast
is on Central, and so what we tell people, but sometimes they just don't see it. So, Barry, welcome to Black Authors Matter TV.
Thank you for having me.
And I see the Golden Gate Bridge behind you, so you must be in California.
Yes, I am.
All right. So are you sitting on a hill right in front of the Golden Gate Bridge?
No, but that's a really good photo.
No, actually you live in Oakland, great city. I had some family who lived right across the bridge from Oklahoma. What was that?
You're from Oakland. You said Oklahoma.
What was the little town right across from Oakland, I mean?
You mean on the island between Oakland and San Francisco?
No, I don't remember the name of the city.
Ayo.
It's not Pittsburgh or something, right?
Oh no, Pittsburgh is way out.
Okay, I have family there too. But no, I
Okay.
have family who lived right across from Oakland. But I can't remember the name of the town. It'll come back to me. They don't live there anymore. They live in New Orleans now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there's a Pittsburgh, California.
I know. I had family there too. I had
But
family
it
in
doesn't.
yeah.
It
I
doesn't
had
have
family
an
in
H.
Oakland, San Francisco, Pittsburgh, Walnut Creek.
Okay.
I don't know
And-
how they found Walnut Creek, but
Yeah, well, that's a lot of places. You know, the
Yeah.
Bay Area is so diverse.
oh yeah,
And
let's not even talk about Fairfield.
right,
Family in Los Angeles
right.
and family in Riverside.
Okay.
Yes, so they're
Well,
all
that's
over
all over
California.
California.
Yeah,
Yes.
but if you're in the Bay Area, you know, you cross a bridge or cross a hill, the flavor and the climate is different. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was in San Francisco. Well, we went on an Alaskan cruise last year, and we left out of San Francisco. So,
Yeah.
and we went when the ship leaves, it goes right under the Golden Gate or right past the Golden Gate Bridge, which is very nice. So, I had been a couple times before too, but that was my last trip there was a year ago when we went to Alaska. So you have a book called An American Daughter of Brown,
Correct.
and that, are you referencing Brown versus
Ye-
Board?
Yes, the
Okay.
point of departure for the book is Brown versus Board.
Okay.
And it chronicles the life of a young lower middle class Black girl from third grade when the Brown decision comes down and she has to change schools to when she graduates from undergraduate school. And it talks about racism, both overt and subtle racism, as it applies to this character. And I wanted to make this character pretty much reflect the experience of a lot of Black people. Generally, at least back in the day, Black characters were always dirt poor. The protagonist in my story has a very supportive family. Not a lot of money, but a very supportive family, overall educated. The all black school that she went to before Brown reflects what had happened during that period when Black people couldn't get other jobs. Our best and our brightest were teachers, and they cared a great deal about their students. And so she has to leave that school because it was all Black, and the school closest to her home was all white. And after Brown, she had to go to that school. And so it talks about what happened to her with the racism. It wasn't like in Montgomery or, in the South where people were throwing things. But you can see the subtleties. You can see how the Black boys were suspended or talked about poorly. And the white teachers were very afraid of the Black students coming in because they were convinced that they were wild and unruly. So she went from there, to middle school and high school, and, to the end where she went to college.
So is this a novel / memoir?
Yeah, to some extent. But I
Okay.
think that most writers do draw from their own experiences, especially when they're telling stories. And yeah, I would say yes.
Okay.
Okay, so
And
you drew from your own experiences, but you told a fictional story. So did that give you a little bit more license to expand in some
Yeah,
areas?
it gave me a lot of license, and there were a lot of scenes that didn't happen to me or anybody I knew, but I wanted to learn how to write that novel,
Right.
which was a lot of fun for me. I loved it.
What strikes me is when you first started talking about the story, um, when I've talked to a number of people who grew up during the civil rights era and prior to the civil rights era,
Yes.
and they often talk about that life was pretty good for the most part. They weren't always running for their lives. They weren't worried about going to the other side of town where all of the white folks are, because they were fine in their communities. They had everything they needed in their communities. Um, did you kind of maybe draw on a little bit of that in the book as well?
Yes, when I think back about my friends and people that I knew who were lower middle class or just middle class, um, people had strong moral compasses. They were very supportive of their communities. Um, you know, your friends might be poor, they
Mhm.
might not. There was no homogenized community like what we're finding now, like you have the rich people over here and the poor people over there. Because in the Black community, we were all together. And so we learned from each other. And it helped pull up those on the lower economic scale because we were all in the same boat sociologically.
Right, right. My grandmother used to say that when she graduated from high school, she went to, ironically, she went to an all-black high school that was in the middle of an all-white neighborhood. The archdiocese kind of took care of that school, so that's the reason why it was where it was. But she said when they graduated, all of the kids had to be dressed alike because they didn't want to be able to tell the rich girls from the poor girls. Everybody had to wear the same type of dress, the same type of shoes, and it was something that everybody could afford because they didn't want to be able to tell the rich from the poor. They didn't want to be able to point out class during this graduation, which I thought was really interesting.
Well, I think that's still true with the parochial schools. And, you know, one thing that makes me sad, because I was a former teacher on the high school and community college level, is that the quality of the students has really dropped because the mentors are not in the community. You know, a lot of highly successful people have moved out to the suburbs or different parts of town. I think as the race, we started to realize that, and we're beginning to reach back a lot more than we used to. But that was the thing that made the Black community under segregation very rich.
It's
And I'm
very
not
cohesive.
an advocate for segregation, but that was one of the high points of it. And then when the United States started giving more rights to Black people, then we took the better jobs. You know, we couldn't all teach, or we didn't all have to teach.
Right.
And that's exactly what the gentleman who I was speaking with said. He said that as soon as desegregation happened, all of a sudden the people started leaving the neighborhoods because they wanted to see if the ice was colder on the other side of town.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so all of a sudden they started to forsake the businesses that were in their own communities and the schools that were in their own communities because they were like, okay, now I can get a little something that the white man has or the rich man has, and I want to go get that. And they stopped taking care of home. And I hate to say it, I think that's what that senator was trying to say, but he totally flubbed it all up. It got everybody mad at him, but I think that might have been what he was trying to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
you know, go ahead, Gwen.
well, I was going to say with you know, with integration, as is the case with many things that we pursue. I think it was a case of all that glitters is not gold.
Right. That's true.
And so we gained some things, but we lost as many things, maybe more things.
Right.
Because we lost our community, one. And the underlying theme for Brown versus Board, while the intentions were very good, I understand the intentions, but what the underlying message was that the education that Black children were getting by Black teachers was somehow less than, when it was the opposite. It was the opposite.
The sad part, Gwen, is that we still see that now. There are still some parents who don't want their kids to go to an HBCU because the education may be less than.
You know, I'm seeing that change. As the HBCUs get more money, number one. But my mother graduated from Tuskegee in 1942. And her great-granddaughter is there now. So there's quite a legacy. Her mother, her granddaughter went there also. So also, you know, there was some saying that I saw on social media where, you know, it said, go ahead and apply to those white colleges and be other and experience racism, or come to an HBCU and learn a lot and find your people. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, my dad went to, it was called North Carolina College when he went in Durham. I don't know what year he went. Can't say. But my daughter went to the same school, It's North Carolina Central now.
Uh,
But that, I mean, that generational thing, I didn't go to an HBCU, but all of my siblings did. And yeah, I took a different path. And what that saying was that you just said, go to a white school and experience racism. That's true. That's true. That is true. So my daughter loved Central. In fact, she goes to homecoming every year. See, I haven't been to a homecoming at Georgetown ever. And but she goes every year. In fact, it's coming up soon that she's going again. Her and her line sisters, her Zeta line sisters, and Rhonda's a Zeta. So she goes every year, her and her line sisters, they normally get an Airbnb, and they really hang out on the plot and all that. So yeah, we gained some things, but we lost
we lost
we
things.
lost more things. I believe we lost more, because what we lost the generational connections we were able to sustain when we had a community.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the subtleties that I wanted to bring out in the book was where Lauren Sullivan, the protagonist, went to a high school that at that time was about 50-50 in racial mix.
Okay.
And they were doing class rankings. And she saw that she had also gone to a predominantly Black high school for 2 years before she went to this high school. And the counselor had ranked everyone, and her ranking was so much lower than the numbers indicated. And the counselor in the story said, well, you went to that Black school and the quality wasn't as high. So wow. I cannot.
So what did they do? Give you a negative weighting for your GPA?
It wasn't me. It was the character.
Oh no, I mean, well, the person,
the character. Yeah.
Yeah. They gave her a negative weighting.
Okay.
And I think what they did was not count the accelerated classes, the college courses with the extra points.
Okay, which is the same thing. Oh, it's just in the other direction. So
she had to learn how to advocate for herself.
Yeah. That's interesting. Now you had a storied legal career yourself.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
So tell us about that. You clerked for the U.S. Court of Appeals in the District of Columbia.
Yes.
And tell us about your law practice, your legal career.
I started out in the large law firms, and I did everything from antitrust to agricultural law. And I learned how these huge law firms draft legislation for governmental bodies. I also learned about the racism in the large firms. And it was daunting at first. There was 148 members of my law firm. And I was one of 2 Black people when I first came. So, there was a lot of subtle fighting and jockeying and depression because of some of the results. And a lot of it came down to, we're just not comfortable with you.
Wow.
And I said, well, that's perhaps because the only people like me you've seen took care of your kids or did your cooking.
That's
and
exactly
that was
what
when I was at the end of my rope.
Yeah.
Theoretically, I did want to advance, but there came a point where I just said no more. I don't have anything to prove to these people. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know from whence I came. And, so I opened up my own firm, and my specialties were real estate and construction law. And I also had the opportunity to be a substitute judge in juvenile court in the dependency area. And that's where kids are taken away from their parents. Sometimes, the judge decides who due to abuse or neglect. And, reading through the files and the records sometimes was quite emotionally daunting, as a substitute judge, or a pro tem judge is what they call them. But it also gave me fodder for other parts of the book, not specific stories, but just how people got there or what happened while they were in homes in general. So, my legal career really gave me a great perspective about what's going on in the country.
Mm. So have you been in California the whole time?
No, I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
And,
All right. In the Midwest.
Brown was important to me because it was so close to Topeka. It was about 60 miles from Topeka, Kansas, where the plaintiffs in Brown were.
Okay.
And so, it wasn't like Mississippi or Alabama, when the decisions came down, but you could really see, the racism in different forms.
Right.
Well, you spent some time in the DC area as well, I believe. Did you ever make it to Annapolis to see the Thurgood Marshall Memorial?
No, I actually met Thurgood Marshall. when I
Oh,
was
wow.
Wow.
That's an honor. That's an honor
Okay.
in and of itself.
Right.
Well, no, the reason why I asked is because it's such a powerful memorial, and it's a statue of him, and on one side is the students who were affected by the Brown versus Board of Education. That was one of his major
Yeah.
cases. And then on the other side, oh my goodness, and I'm having a brain fart just because I'm telling you about this right now. But on the other side is a statue of a young man, and I cannot remember, but he was another one of Thurgood Marshall's major cases. So it's just really powerful because he looks like he's standing there walking toward them, and they're both looking at him.
Wow.
Looking toward him. It's a beautiful, beautiful memorial. So one of the things I love doing whenever I go to Annapolis is going to that memorial as well as the Kunta Kinte Memorial.
Oh, wow. Well, in person, he's funny, or he was
I
funny.
remember when he retired,
He-
He did.
I'm never gonna forget. They asked him, "Well, why are you retiring?" He said, "I'm old."
And I'm falling
Yeah,
apart.
right.
He said I'm falling apart.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this man is hilarious."
Well, one thing I wanted to talk about also was the fact that when I was practicing law, no, not when I was practicing law, I was teaching in a community college. And the president said, "Barry, you're kind of a daredevil. Would you like this assignment?" I said, "Depends on what it is." And he said, "How would you like to teach at Soledad Prison?" I said, "The Soledad?" He said, "That's a maximum security institution."
Ooh.
"Oh yeah, don't worry about it. There are guards in the classroom and out in the hall, and you'll have the model prisoners." And so I said, "Okay, fine." And so I went, and you could hear the big gates slam shut behind you. And that's when I started thinking more deeply about the experience. And then I walked into the classroom to a lot of cat calls. And I thought, okay, I really have to be careful. And there was no guard anywhere in the class. And there are about 35 students. And the noise kept on going until this big guy in front stood up and turned around and said, "Shut the you-know-what up."
Oh.
This is an experience I don't want to lose. And everybody shut up immediately. And he sat back down in the front row and we proceeded. And when I, would give a writing assignment, because I was teaching creative writing, and I would say, I need 5 pages. And I was getting 20 pages per student.
Well, they had a lot of time.
They had a lot of time.
They had a lot
Right.
of time.
I had never worked so hard in my life in teaching.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess they had a lot to get off their chest,
Yeah.
And somebody who was reading that was actually going to read what they were writing.
Right. Right. And I also learned about what they went through, with their families and their children. And sometimes they would come up and say, "The court is about to take my child away. Is there anything you can do?" I said, "No." At the time, I said, "I know nothing about the legal system. Plus, that's not why I'm here." And so, it really piqued my interest. And so I changed professions and went to law school.
Oh, okay. Well, we're getting close to the end of our time. We're going a little bit over. But I did want to let people know that you're going to be at the National Black Book Festival. I want to tell Rhonda that too.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I saw it.
Oh, you did? Okay. You're one of the participating authors, and it's coming up really quickly next week. So you will enjoy it. You'll meet so many people that will become lifelong friends, and you'll actually get to meet people who are sharing information without hesitation.
Well, this is the best organized book event that I have attended. And I'm not just saying that. You are really author friendly. And I appreciate it.
Okay, well, we have been doing it for a minute, 17
Yeah.
years. But, actually having gone to a few different events recently, Rhonda and I both have been together.
Yeah.
You can see some differences in the way other people do things versus the way we do things. I'll put it like that. Yeah. So we try to make sure that the authors feel appreciated, recognized, and also that they get information while they're here that they can use to make them successful.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
And we're looking forward. So you write in the, what genre do you write? Or what category did you select?
Historical fiction.
Historical fiction. Okay.
All right. Absolutely historical fiction. And I can't wait.
Right. Yeah. I think it's only a few people. Let me look at my chart here. Let me see. I have the schedule. This is the schedule of activities, and on the back is a list of all the authors. And under historical fiction, there's only one name. I thought so. You're going to have the sign right beside you at your table for this section, historical fiction. So everybody who's looking for that, they will come your way.
Okay, good. Good.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Barry, for being a guest on Black Authors Matter TV. Congratulations on your book release, and we look forward to seeing you next week at the National Black Book Festival.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. You have a great evening.
Okay, you too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, so we had mentioned to you all that we were going to be showing a video from one of the authors that wants you to know about their work. We're going to be doing that. And then we're going to come back and talk about the National Black Book Festival some because our third guest for tonight had to cancel unexpectedly. So we have a little bit of time in between. And so we will we'll come back after we show the video and talk about the festival. So I needed to, I'm late admitting my media manager, but anyway, he's going to show you the video now. I forgot I had to do that.
I remember my mom packing us up, and we took a taxi and picked up my sister. I remember us picking her up from school and going to the Greyhound bus station. I asked my mom where we were going. She said, oh, we're going to Detroit because Stevie Wonder sent for me. My aunts and uncles would come and say that she needed to go to the hospital, but as children, we didn't realize anything differently about our mom. So going to Detroit didn't seem unusual. We got to Detroit and checked into a hotel that night. It was some hours later, a man drove us to basically what was a homeless shelter. When we were in Detroit, we lived in this rundown, horrible, infested building. My mother was not a smoker, but in Detroit, she smoked. One night, she told us, me and my sister, to go and get her cigarettes. And we knew the store on the corner. She gave us money and we left. It was almost 10 o'clock at night. I was 4 years old and my oldest sister was 6. Even to think about that today is kind of absurd. It just seemed okay. We were just obeying our mom. The door was locked, but there were people in there, and we knocked and tried to get him to let us in. And the 60s weren't a very kind time. We set out to find another store. We began to walk and wander. After some moment of time, we came upon a store. We got the cigarettes. At that point, we began to walk back and realized we were lost. Didn't know the street, didn't know the address, just didn't know even which way we had turned. There was a crowd of people. They were protesting something that was always going on. I suggested to my sister, maybe if we cross the street, somebody could help us. This gentleman is there, this tall white man. He asked, "Are you girls lost?" We said, "Yes." And he says, "Well, where do you live?" "We don't know where we live." And he said, "Let me take you home." All of a sudden, we turned down our street and he said, "Is this where you live?" We said, "Yes." And he said, "Go on upstairs, your mother's waiting." I get emotional when I think about this story because I know that it was some miracle that we were saved. As I realized that that was an angel from God.
Okay, that's a video from Sandra. I think her last name is pronounced Braham or Braham, and she will actually be a participating author at the upcoming National Black Book Festival. So this video, I believe, is about her book that she will be selling, which is a biography. She's in the biography category, I believe. Yes. So biography memoir category. So she's going to have a book about that angel in Detroit or from Detroit. So she'll be there with her books and you get to meet her face to face if you're coming. So In the time we have now between now and our final interview, we want to talk a little bit about the National Black Book Festival. And Rhonda has been our literary correspondent for, I want to say 5 years, maybe 6. You turn your mute off.
Yeah, I think it's 7 years now. I think my
Okay.
first one was 2018.
Oh, okay. Wow. You know, time flies. I was thinking
It
about this
does.
show is over 4 years. We've been doing this for 4 years. It just goes by so fast.
It does. It really does.
And I know you were a lyric correspondent before we started doing the show, because that was how we ended up doing the show together because of that. So, and I'm sure we had some kind of conversation and we ended up with you being the literary correspondent, although
I think
can't.
I remember saying when you were on my show before, when I used to have Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions, and I invited you on the show to talk about the event. And I said, I should be your literary correspondent next year. And you were like, yeah, that's a good idea. And then I thought you were like, yeah, whatever, Rhonda. But then you called me and said,
Oh no. All of the managers at the festival will tell you that if they made a suggestion that sounded like a good idea, I said, go for it. Yeah, that sounds great. You can do that.
Yeah,
That's how we
exactly
ended up
what
with
happened.
a lot of stuff. Most of our seminars, that's how we ended up with those. That's how we ended up with the Children's Festival. Because when people have a good idea, then I'm all for it. Now, some people will present kooky ideas, and I'm gonna use the word kooky. Some people will present things that are just, well, let's say unbelievable, unrealistic, nuts, just unworkable. You know, I've had people say, why don't somebody, I'll give you an example. Somebody said, why don't we have all the authors have an interview during the festival? And I said, that's not possible.
Right.
It's not possible.
It's a lot of authors.
We have this year we have 140 authors this year. That's the most we've ever had. So, but what we do, we do some door prizes where a person can win a live stream interview. But that's totally random, because that's the only way to do it. So it's fair, because otherwise you're picking favorites. And I try to stay away from that all the time, because it just sows seeds of discord. And authors have egos. You know, otherwise they wouldn't have written a book. So you have, all these people in one room that have egos, and you have to balance all that with keeping an event going smoothly. But our event is very, very organized. I will say, if I could say so myself, it's timed from the time it opens to the time it ends. Every person who's managing has a actual purpose. They have an assignment that they take very seriously. And this year, one thing we've added that we didn't have before as much, we have a lot of merch this year. We have all kinds of merch. We have the Black Authors Matter merch, but then we have other t-shirt styles that we're introducing this year for the first time. We have new book festival t-shirts. We've had the same one for a long time. I said, it's time to do a new design. When we're doing new t-shirts, we may as well do everything new. So we have one for the volunteers that actually has the word volunteer on it. That's National Black Book Festival, and then volunteer on the shirt, so people can know who the volunteers are. And then our general shirt says, I met 100 plus authors at the National Black Book Festival.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's going to be our new standard shirt. And then we have, we have totes, we have caps, we have we have long sleeve shirts now, because a lot of people would come from out of town from places north and say, do you have it in long sleeves? Because in October, Here it's 85 degrees, but in most of the rest of the country, it's not. So they would be coming from points north and want long sleeves, and we didn't have it. So we decided to do long sleeves. So we have the long sleeve shirts. We have that in the Black Authors Matter. Also, we have it in our Harlem Renaissance shirt, which is one of our new shirts. So Rhonda and I have been, we went to 2 places, and we met some really nice people. But we, you know, our event is big and it's organized and it's well put together. I would say that.
And people have fun at it, and lots of connections are made.
Yeah, lots of connections, and you have really the ability to make the connections. You have the, you know, the opportunities to do that. So it starts on Thursday night. For those of you all who don't have your tickets yet, if you want to come to the welcome reception and you live in the Houston area, or you're already planning to come and you don't have your tickets yet to the reception or the special events, the last day for tickets is Friday, and you can buy them online. And the general admission is totally free. So the 3 events that we have are events where food is served. So they're catered events. And so the ticket is required for those. But the general admission, which includes all the author exhibits, all the seminars, the featured author sessions, that's all totally free to the public. And so we have TV ads that we're running this year on Houston channels 26 and 20. And we can already see the results of it. You know, our website traffic is way up from what it was the week before the ad started running. You know, you can see the difference. And also, we're getting a lot more calls and emails and DMs. And the church is actually, Fallbrook Church is getting a lot of calls. But they don't have anything to do with the event other than they're the venue.
They're just the location.
They're the location. That's it. So they send them to us on the website. So Rhonda, what are you looking forward to this year at the festival? Do you have anything in particular you're looking forward to?
I like meeting new authors. And it's always amazing to me how many people are watching the show. So usually when I walk in and I'll say hello and I'll say my name and they're like, "Oh my goodness, you're from the podcast." And I always think that was so nice. So I'm looking forward to meeting new authors. I have some new drawings that I'll be doing this year for you know, people usually come to my table and they like to enter for the drawing. So I have a different drawing that I'm doing this year that I'll be looking forward to doing and getting more people on the list. I'll have a lot of great information about a lot of new initiatives that Meet the World Image Solutions is doing. For instance, the new resource center to help support authors who are working on their books. Looking at the writers cruise that we're doing next August. I'll be talking about the book contest that I'm doing for fiction authors. So this, I like to see my table not just as the place where you can get interviews, because I will interview you. We're going to be doing that, the drawing again, where at least I believe it's 3 or 4 authors will be able to come to my table and get a live interview. So I love doing that because it's a great way to meet new authors. But I also want you to be able to come to my table as a resource and as a support, because one thing I love doing and one thing Gwen loves doing is supporting authors and helping authors to become better writers. That's what we're all about. So come out to my table. Let's get to know each other and talk with each other and how I can support your projects. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and also a lot of what happens when you're a writer and you first get started with your first book is you don't know. It's the same thing that happens when you go in business. And I've been both. I've been an entrepreneur basically all my adult life from age 25. And I've been an author since 2007. So you don't know what you don't know. That's what happens when you start something new. And coming to the festival, you'll get to find out some of the things you don't know that you really need to know, but you just don't know what you don't know. So, and all the information is free. That's the thing. So
And now, one thing that a lot of people forget, they think, oh, this is going to be a huge festival with 100 and some authors there. There's going to be all kinds of people coming through, and they don't advertise that they're going to be in Houston. They don't tell anybody that they're coming. They don't tell people where the event's going to be. They're just expecting all of that traffic to come through, and they get to sell their books. And you forget, if 100 people are going somewhere and those 100 people don't tell anybody else that they're going to be there, there's not going to be anybody there. You're not going to be able to depend on other people to do the work. And when you don't promote that you're going to be at the largest Black book festival in the South, which is a huge bragging right within itself, but when you don't tell people that, and then you expect to get traffic, that means you're depending on other people to do all the work for you. So one thing I would say is, one, brag, tell people where you're going to be, contact your organizations. I'm a Zeta. I'm going to tell my sorors that I'm going to be in Houston. I'm going to tell my Crew of Pyros family, which is my Mardi Gras crew, that I'm going to be in Houston. I have family in Houston. I'm going to tell them I'm going to be in Houston. I'm going to tell all of those people, and ask them to tell other people, because you never know who's going to pop up. So that's one thing. The other thing is, you don't go to a festival like this and depend on only selling books. Because if your only goal is to sell books and you don't sell as many as you thought you should have, you're going to see this this whole weekend as a failure. But if you go there with the express purpose of meeting other people, of making connections, of yes, of course, selling books. I want you to sell your books, but you can leave this festival with so much more if you go in with this open mind. I don't always expect to sell a lot of books when I come to the festival. I'm going to sell books. I sell books every year. But every time I leave the festival, I have people who sign up for my programs, who sign up to be a part of my my event. I meet great friends. I have amazing friends that I have met at this festival. And so when you go in with that mindset, that's going to be the success. That, not just selling books, but making valuable connections, about meeting people and that are going to help you to reach your goals in the long run and not just the short term.
Yeah, and a lot of the book sales are not going to necessarily happen those 2 days.
That day, yeah.
They'll happen after the festival. We get calls and emails all the time from people either looking for a specific person, like book clubs who said they saw an author there, but they didn't get their information and they want to read their book. So they contact us after the fact. Or for local people, they're looking for a speaker to come to talk to their school or their organization and ask us for a recommendation. So there are all kinds of opportunities that you get from being part of the National Black Book Festival. And I will say this also, because we sold out of our vendor space 3 months ago. I mean, we literally could not sell anymore after the July 1st. If we had the space, we could have more, even 150 more authors. That's how big the demand has been this year. That lets me know there's a lot of people looking for opportunities to connect and sell books and to meet the public. So I always tell them, plan early for next year. We open our registration January 1st, and normally we are sold out by the end of July. But this year it was the end of June, and when July came, we just had to cut it off because we just couldn't take any more people. And we've had very little drop off this year. We normally have more drop off from the people who sign up, and some people, end up not being able to come. We didn't even have as much of that this year as we've had in the past. So somebody had made a comment. Oh, Mary Evans said that it was correct. She said there are no lies. When I said that if you come up with an idea, I'll say, great, you go run with it. Because that's how she ended up having the seminar on social media. She said, we need to have something. When the first year she was there, or the second, she said there needs to be some kind of workshop on social media. And because a lot of people don't understand how it works and how to be more productive with theirs. And so I said, that's a great idea. You can do that next year. So, a good idea, I have no problem letting somebody hit the ground and run with it. Because the worst thing that can happen is that it doesn't work out. And then you try it once. If it doesn't work out, then it didn't work out. But you have to make your event organic, and you have to stay cutting edge. And the way that you do that is by letting people with ideas, because I can't have all the ideas. Rhonda can't have all the ideas. And even the managers and the people who work with it, we're not going to have all the ideas. Somebody's going to come up with something
I got
fresh
all the
and new.
ideas. I got all the ideas.
Okay, you do. So, you have to be open to it. It has to be a good idea. And when the person comes up with it, my thing is this: you take it and run with it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it for you. This is your idea. You have to take it and run with it if you want us to do it and for it to succeed. Because I'm already up to here. I can tell you, I'm up to here over. You can see my hand. I'm already up to here. So we have one other comment, then we're going to bring on our final guest. Mary Landrum wanted to know, is it held at the same venue in Texas every year? She says she's sad she can't go this year, but she would love to meet me and Rhonda. Yes. And that's the other question that I get on social media all the time, almost every day. When are you going to come to X? You can fill in the blank for the state, the region, or the city. And what I tell them is never, because this event, if it's under this umbrella, is going to be in Houston, Texas at Fallbrook Church, because that way we can keep it free and open to the public. If we try to start moving around, you're looking at tens of thousands of extra dollars. So we're able to keep our costs down. Still costs a ton of money, but if we tried to go somewhere else with it, it wouldn't work. So it will be in Houston, Texas for as long as we're doing it, which we don't know exactly how long that's going to be, but we'll see. We're in year 17 and we'll see how it goes. So our final guest for tonight is Shauna McNamara. And I'm going to ask her what this name is on this iPhone, because her name is Shauna, and that's not.
Yep, that's me.
Oh, you know what? That she's supposed to be an H, I think. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what's going on. That should be an H.
I thought it was African, That's why I said Shagana, because I thought it was, So
it's Shauna.
She is supposed to be an H. Okay, now I get it. So Shauna, you can come on camera. Your camera's off. I see your audio's on. Your camera's off, so we can't see.
Yeah, we need to see.
There you go.
There she is.
Okay, there you go. Shauna McNamara, welcome to Black Authors Matter TV.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You are a
Thank you
children's
for being
author.
here.
I understand.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, I said you're a children's author.
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
Okay, and you have a book out called, what's the name of your book?
Songbird.
Songbird. Okay. And is this your first book?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, well, congratulations. I know how
Thank
that
you.
feeling is to have your first book.
Yes, I'm pretty
So,
excited.
You're part of a writing group, and we're going to have some other authors from the White Writing Group on as well.
Okay. Yes, we're
The
from Peace and Freedom.
Committee.
Correct.
And so tell us about the writing group that you're part of first,
Well,
and then
it's
we'll talk
peace
about
and
your book.
okay, it's peace and freedom. We're women that's empowering other women and working with children. And we all decided to get together and write some children's books.
Okay, so the Peace and Freedom Committee, all of the books that you all produce are children's books.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. All right. And are they all like different ages groups?
Yes, we have
Okay.
all ages. I went for the middle school transition into high school. We have elementary school,
Okay. Do you have preschoolers
kindergarten,
too?
preschoolers. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So you run the gamut. Okay. Now, where are you all located?
In Marion, Ohio.
So are all of the authors in Marion or in the Marion area?
Yes, we're all in Marion, Ohio.
Oh, okay. How long have you all been together as a writing group?
Oh, I think we started this 2 years ago. It's been in the making for 2 years.
Okay. And now how often do y'all get together?
Well, we're an organization that we do not just write children's books. We're the Peace and Freedom. We do the Martin Luther King breakfast. We have an event for ladies' hats off luncheon.
Okay.
And yeah, we work with the youth
Oh, okay.
and the
Okay.
young ladies.
Very nice.
Okay.
Yes.
So and you write. So does everybody in the group write? Or
No,
is
just
it
6 of us. 6 of us did.
okay? But the
6 of us wrote a
organization
book.
overall does other things, community work
Yes.
too.
Yes,
Okay.
we do.
Okay. All right. Well, I believe several of you all submitted your books for the Black Authors Matter Children's Book Awards process.
Yes.
I believe so. I don't have that information in front of me, but I remember seeing the Peace and Freedom Committee on the list of people who applied, who submitted applications.
Yes, we all work under Laura Trauma. She had a vision and she just inspired all these women to come together and work together in our community. So yes, it is a good event that we
Okay.
decided to write some books
I love the fact
to
that
help.
everybody's here to support each other.
Yes.
I'm looking at the comments and it's blowing up with everybody giving you support and encouragement.
Oh,
And I think that's
okay.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, so tell us about Songbird.
Well, Songbird is about
And
3
do you have a
students.
copy? You have a copy of your book?
Yes, I do.
So show it to us.
There it
Okay.
is.
This is a girl, young lady with a microphone.
Yes, with 2 young men as my background.
Okay, the backup's like
Yeah.
Gladys Knight and the Pips, but
There you
it's
go.
3
But
Pips.
it's 2 instead of 3. Yeah, there are about 3 3 middle school students that transition into high school, where they was offered a recording contract, whether to have the opportunity to be professional singers or to stay in school. So they turn to the Lord to help them make a good decision on what to do. And it's also matters of the heart.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know, a lot of if you look at that show, what's Unsung,
Yeah.
a lot of those groups started off in high school,
Yes.
you know, as a high school band. And
Mhm.
then they got their big break or whatever. But you know, a lot of things happen with children in school musically because they're around music, and that's really your formative years where you're listening to music all the time,
Right.
learning songs. And I know we used to pretend like we were groups. You know, when I was a kid, we would
Yeah,
go
we
to
all
somebody's
had that
house
moment.
I
after
had a rap
school.
group.
Had that
Okay.
I
moment
can't
in
rap
high
to save
school
my
where
life,
you
but I
had
had a
talent
rap
show.
group.
Yeah. Have that moment where you have a talent show in high school and then
Yeah.
they're kicked off from there.
Yeah, that does happen. And you know, when we were in elementary school, even our 7th grade in particular, because
Yes.
where I was it was before they split the schools up. So elementary went to 7th grade.
Mhm.
So the 7th graders were like elementary school seniors, you know,
Right.
that was but our teacher she was very strict, but she was also very open at the same time. And she would let us do sing songs in class, like pretend like we were a singing group in class, and she would turn it into some kind of English lesson.
Well, that's good.
That's awesome.
She was amazing. So so now is Inspiration for Songbird, is that like a personal story of yours, or?
Well, it's a little of both. I dedicated the book to my granddaughter because me and my granddaughter went through some of the similar things, and I just wanted to encourage her. Yeah.
Okay. So is the girl on the cover of the book, does she kind of resemble your granddaughter?
No, she resembles me. Back in the day when I had my Afro puffs.
Oh, okay. Okay, that was common. I had some too.
Yeah, we all did.
I used to put mine I used to use bobby pins to create my puff.
There you
I
go.
just bobby pinned it all around, and then I would have a little bow on the top of each puff.
Right.
I wish I had a
That's
picture from that hairstyle. I don't
I
have a
wish you
picture of
did
that
too.
hairstyle. It was cute. I got a lot of compliments from my Afro puffs. So now, are you in the musical? Are you musically inclined?
I just sing in a gospel choir at church.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is the songbird in the story, do they sing secular music or gospel music?
Both. My granddaughter sings as well. And
Okay.
yeah, right now, she's trying to record her own songs. So
Yeah,
she's doing
now
good.
people are going on, YouTube and
Yeah. Very
Instagram
popular.
or that, I guess TikTok, but you don't do long things on TikTok.
Yeah.
More for YouTube. People are having their pages and singing songs and
Right.
doing covers of songs and writing their own songs and all kinds of stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Right.
So they can, and expose to the world. I see some of it on my news feed for Facebook, but you know how when you hit something, then the same thing starts showing.
There you go.
So, for a while I was seeing a lot of African weddings. I was some of those African weddings are elaborate, and they have
Elaborate is putting it mildly.
It is. I mean, some of it's amazing. The gowns they have on, and the men are, really sharp dressers
The head
and
wraps.
yeah,
Yes.
and then they'll have a line, and the whole line will have some moves. It's really
Right.
some amazing stuff. So, but
Yeah.
I do also see children singing. I saw it was a group last night. It was a family. The husband, the dad was playing the piano. The little boy was playing drums, and then the little girl was singing, and the mom was singing, and they were
All right.
harmonizing. It was
Mm.
neat.
Good. It's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah. So, do you do any of that with your granddaughter? Do you all
Oh,
sing
yes.
together?
Yes, we have lots of fun. Try to get all my grandkids in.
Yeah, I was
So
just
we
about
do.
to ask if you had a musical family.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
We're all very musically inclined.
Love it.
Oh,
And we
It's
love
like a
to
little
sing.
concert with y'all.
Yeah. We love to sing.
So, do you all play instruments too, or just the singing part?
No, I play tambourine.
Okay, so is
I
that
love
that's an
never leave
instrument
home
too.
without it.
So are you okay? So are you part of the Church of God in Christ?
Yeah. Logos Christian Ministry.
Okay, well, I know the tambourines, that's really kind of like a signature.
Yes. I love to play the tambourine.
Yeah. I was just thinking about, what came to my mind actually was in the movie Raid, which I saw recently again for like the 10th time.
Uh-huh.
They were playing tambourines in those little concerts they were in.
Yes.
You must be one heck of a tambourine player, because in the comments they were all talking about how you're a tambourine player. Kimber Mo
Yes.
says they love hearing Miss Shauna playing the tambourine.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Shauna's a
mean,
songbird. You better tell them you love
Yeah,
playing the tambourine.
Yes, I started out at Mays Temple, and everybody just beat it. Love it with the bass. That's the best. You have more
Okay.
control. So
That's
yes, I
awesome.
love making a joyful noise. Definitely.
Yeah. So what are some of your favorite songs, like of the recent, you say in the gospel realm? Who are some of
Oh,
your
all of
artists
my
that you like?
all of my favorite. I like Work It Out. He's an on-time God.
Okay.
That's the
Yes.
song.
Yeah.
Yes. I
And who
love
sang that? Was that Shirley Caesar originally singing that? Who sang that originally? He's an on-time God. Or is that just one of
No,
those
that's Dottie
songs that,
People.
that's Dottie People.
oh, it's
Yeah.
Dottie
there you go.
Peoples. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. I had my people mixed up, but I know that's a song that's been in churches forever.
Yes.
That's one of
Definitely.
those old standards that feel good, good spiritual songs.
Right.
The old songs that kept people grounded, kept,
Right.
kept our
Yes.
community together. Those songs that just,
Now I'm
really
into
got you
Charles
in your heart,
Jenkins. Charles Jenkins, God's been good to me.
Okay, now we
Oh, yeah.
sing Charles. I'm in the choir at my church. We sing Charles
Uh-huh.
Jenkins songs,
Yeah.
several of his
He's
songs.
good too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sing him. Now we sing different artists. We sing a lot of Ricky Dillard songs.
Okay.
And he's
Mhm.
been to our church twice.
Oh, yeah? Well,
When we
that's
have Christmas
good.
in July. So, and our choir sang with him.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So we sing his songs on Sundays.
Oh,
Sundays we sing. I would say we probably have 10 of his songs in our like song book, whatever list, our list that we pull from.
well, that's good.
We sing a lot of his.
Yeah.
And who else do we sing? We sing Charles Jenkins. We used to sing more Donald Lawrence stuff, but I don't know if he's still putting out as much recently.
Right. But it's good.
Mhm.
All music is good.
Yeah, well, I like the message in some songs too. I
Oh,
mean,
yes.
some songs have a good message. So, tell us who illustrated your book for you.
The illustrator was I think his name was Grant Sykes. He was my illustrator. He did a good job. I have pictures in the middle.
Yeah, I was
my
going to
book.
ask you to show us some of the other pictures.
See if I can set this up.
But the cover looks really good. So the cover is
There's
what draws
in the
people in.
choir
Okay, all right.
singing at the Popcorn Festival, rocking the crowd, doing house parties. Our first date at church, there's my tambourine,
Okay.
the Bible, and then graduation.
Okay.
Yeah. Did pretty good.
Okay. So when did your book come out?
3 months ago.
Oh,
think
it's
it was
brand
3
new.
months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Brand new.
Yeah.
so have you done a book signing or have you
Yes, we
you
had
have a
our
launch
first book
party?
sign. Yes, we had our first book signing at the Marion Public Library. It was awesome. A bunch of authors got together and Peace and Freedom was a part of it. And we had our first book signing. It was awesome.
I can imagine that you had a lot of support. If the support is anything like what you have tonight, I'm sure it was a great book signing.
Yes, we had a good time.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
So you planning on a second, third, fourth book?
Well, I thought let's take one at a time. I'll work on another one. And I'll try to do another one.
She just got that one out.
Wait, no, you should be already working on your second
Yeah,
one,
book
ma'am.
two.
Yeah, surprise. She said second and third. Stephanie told me I have to write 17 of them since I got 17 grandkids. I need to write 17 books. I
Listen,
said,
I didn't even say
okay.
17 now.
Yes, she did.
That's a lot. But when you write that first one, then
Right.
you can.
Right.
Yep.
So
It's a
after
great
that,
accomplishment.
yeah, after that, then it's not so daunting. It's that first one that's really like, can I really do this?
Right.
And then you hold it in your hand, and then you
But
have
Laura Troutman and Rhea Edmond really pushed me because they kept saying, well, we want more. I want more. Tell me what happened to this part. Tell me that. So it does inspire you to keep going and going.
Right.
So that,
When you realize how much people are appreciating your work, it does make you want to keep going.
yes,
Because
it makes you feel good.
this can be a very lonely business. It shouldn't be, because we should be networking, but often it can be a very lonely business because everybody around you, when you start meeting other authors, they're going to be talking about they sold 30 books at this book signing, and they did this and they did that, and they're bestseller, and you're looking like, well, I didn't sell that many books. And then you start to try to compare yourself, and you shouldn't.
Right.
no, you should.
Your
half
story
these
is
people-
your story.
I'm gonna tell
Right.
you a secret. Half these people be lying. They ain't sold that many books.
I was gonna say that, but
Oh,
but I said, well, I don't want to discourage anybody out there. But one thing I will say now that really is, because everybody says it really has no meaning anymore. And that is the whole bestseller label. Everybody's a bestseller now. So,
Mhm.
which means nobody's a bestseller. If everybody is a bestseller, that's like saying everybody's top.
right.
Because bestseller is compared to something. It's compared to all the other books that are being released.
Right.
It means
Mhm.
Right.
you're at the top of the totem pole. And on Amazon, because you can do a subcategory of a subcategory of a subcategory of a subcategory, and then you can be a bestseller and it was only 3 books in your category. Well, that's really not, that's not a bestseller. My first book made the Essence list. When Essence magazine used to
Congratulations.
publish a
Yeah.
list. No, this was 15 years ago, whenever my first book came out. When did it come out? 17 years ago, yeah. But I never called myself a best-selling author because that's just one book and one list.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I see people who have, I think Jacqueline Thomas just released her 100th book. I'm in awe of these people that can come up with all
Right.
these different stories.
Mhm.
It's amazing. And I probably could if I spent all my time doing that, but that's
Right.
not what I want to spend all my time doing. So, I kudos to the people who really can just write and keep writing stories and keep coming up with new original stories that are new
Right.
characters and new plots, and I just give them all the credit in the world. But
Yeah.
not everybody is a bestseller. If you only have one book, mm,
Well,
I
But
I only
don't.
have
But
one book.
let's not be doom and gloom and everything. You can
I'm not
definitely
doom and
be.
gloom.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
just
I'm just
saying,
saying you can be a bestseller. I mean,
no,
Everybody
you
has a
people
market your
can.
story.
yes, you market your book the way you see fit. And right now, it seems like you have a great support system. You
Yes.
have a great audience, and your book seems like it fits very perfectly within your surroundings, because
Right.
you can sell the book to your church family, you can sell the book to your musical family, and it fits perfectly within both of those audiences.
Right.
And I think that sometimes we have to think about that as well. Who is my audience? And then you write to that audience.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't trying to be doom and gloom. I'm just saying, some things are not. When you said people will say that they sold like a whole bunch of books and they didn't really sell it. So I
Oh no,
was
that's
just,
true. They be doing that.
that is true. And that's what I'm saying. I was just adding to that line of conversation. So,
No,
but
I didn't think you were. I just didn't want us to continue to go down that road. I wanted to make sure that we were encouraging as well. That's all. I didn't think you were
yeah,
doing it. I felt like I was
I
doing
don't
it.
think
Well, I might have
I
started
don't
it.
think Shauna was discouraged.
No.
Because she
No,
came out with her one book is fantastic.
that's
And
right.
your cover is really beautiful. Your
Thank you.
cover says what your book is about
Right,
without having too many people on the front.
right.
And
I
But
that's
think it's
he did a
cute.
good
I
job because
love it.
my people were
it's
stick
really
people.
good. You know, this book is about a singer and
Right.
somebody who wants to I'll use make it big for a lack of a better term. But and she has support. She has her supporters. It's great.
Thank you.
So not everybody hits the ball out of the park with their covers on their first books.
Oh, well, thank you.
know,
I
you see
did
all
pretty
kinds.
good.
So
Mine
you
was
know,
stick people, but he brought my stick people to life.
yeah, and that's what a good artist does.
I
Yes.
love it that I love your concept with some stick people though.
He did good.
So what is on the horizon for you for the rest of the year and for 2025 that you can see? What do you hope to do with your book?
Well, I hope that my story encourages other kids to when they're faced with difficult decisions, they can make a, a good decision. This book will help you. It's like matters of the heart, what you do, and who you turn to. We all have to turn to somebody, and that's the Lord, and He will guide you if you trust and believe in Him. And He'll bring things to your vision to make you know whether it's right or wrong. We all have a right and wrong, and we know what's right. So this book will encourage those that's down, encourage those that feel sad, encourage those that don't have confidence. This book is a good story. So you have to get my book to read it so you'll know. I'm not
Okay,
going to give too much away.
no, because we call those spoilers in the book
Yes.
industry, and we don't want to do that. So, so where's your book sold?
On Amazon. It's sold on Amazon, and we have copies here. So would you like to buy one of my books?
Well, this is what I tell people when they say that, or when they want to send me one. I literally know thousands of authors. So
Right.
literally, so I can't
Well,
buy
now you
everybody's
know
book.
me. You know
I do,
1,001.
but I can't. I know thousands. Okay, I'll put an S
Okay.
on it, but I can't buy everybody's book, and it's not possible. But what I do is
Mhm.
I have people come on the show so they can promote their books and they can have it seen by a lot more people than just me. So a
Right.
lot of people will see this show and this
Oh,
segment
okay.
and then they can go out and buy your book.
Well,
And
thank
that's
you.
what we do.
All right. Sounds good.
So tell us a little bit more about the Peace and Freedom Committee. Do y'all have plans for any upcoming book events that you planning to do, or do you plan to expand your writing group? Like if somebody was watching this show from your area, they
Mm-hmm.
were interested in joining your writing group or participating with what you all do, is that something that's an option that's available?
Yes, it is, because we have a couple girls that came aboard to help us raise money for our J.W. Harris Scholarship Foundation. And it's really good. And we just encourage people to dig in and bring that outer person to life, that you can help somebody else. You know,
Wonderful.
it's really good. And we're not limited just to the peace and freedom. If you have a story in you and you want to share it, we're open to that. But all proceeds go to the Peace and Freedom Foundation
And where can
to
people
help.
find more information about the Peace and Freedom Foundation?
We have a web page also. They can go to Peace and Freedom.
Okay, well, Rhonda normally types in like the
Yeah,
website.
that's what I
Yeah.
was
what's
just about to
the
type it in. Is
so
it
what's the website?
PEACE and AND freedom.org.com?
Right. Let me see if I can find this. Peace and Freedom Publications.
Okay,
Trying
publications
to
with an
find
S.
that. Publications. Yes.
Is it .com.org?
Oh man, I don't have that paper here. I think it is. Yeah, but you could.
Let me see. On here somewhere. There was a
Yes,
site
it's
on the information. It's long though, but if you go to
Peace
boomohio.info.
and freedom.
Yeah, I
It's
did I put that in the
peace and
chat already.
freedom.
Okay.
Okay, what'd you say?
The Boom Ohio website, I put that in the chat.
Oh, okay.
boomohio.info, and then it's the organizations folder, and then within that is the Peace and Freedom Committee.
Right. I had to break out my eyes for that.
Oh, Rhonda shared it. Okay, let's see what we got. And somebody else said it was at Barnes and Nobles as well. But you got a lot of support from
Thank you.
fellow Ohioans and probably some other people too.
Okay, thank you.
So the Peace and Freedom Committee, you all are still open to bringing in more people who want to write books, or
Yes.
the writing committee. And do you all plan to expand outside of Ohio at all, or outside
Yes.
of the Marion area?
Yes, we're taking steps, baby steps. We're just getting started, but we
Okay.
plan to be all over the globe.
Okay,
All
so do
right.
you all have is it like a membership organization?
Yes, it is. It's Laura Troutman she had a vision to put Marion on the map as far as doing the Martin Luther King breakfast. We do ladies' hats off luncheon. We just try to empower women that's in the ladies' luncheon. We empower women that's overcome struggles to make the difference in their life. And the Peace and Freedom breakfast we do for Martin Luther King Day, where we have essays, speech contests, art.
Okay, and you
for
said something
Martin
about
Luther King Day.
scholarship too.
Yes, we have J.W. Harris Scholarship Fund where we help students that's like behind or don't have enough money to pay their tuition or things like that. We try to help out like that.
Okay,
That's
well,
wonderful.
that's a wonderful goal.
Yes.
And I'm an advocate for scholarships and for debt-free college, and have been for many years. So
Right.
yeah. So well, Shauna, thank you so much for being a guest on Black
Thank
Authors
you.
Matter TV. Congratulations on the release of your book, Songbird.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate that.
the launch is only 3 months old. It's like a baby. You have to
Yes.
grow it.
But we will grow. That's
Nurture
right.
it and grow. So thank
But
you
no, we wish you all
again.
the best with your book.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you sharing your story.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank
Okay,
you.
have a great
And you
evening.
ladies have a blessed evening.
And
You
you do the
too.
same.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So we are at the end of our show for this week. We hope those of you all who are planning to come to the National Black Book Festival are being engaged and excited and looking forward to it. We do have a couple of programming notes before we close in terms of, we will have a show next week, the Tuesday before the festival, but we will not have a show the Tuesday after the festival because both me and Rhonda will be resting and taking time off.
We're going to be tired.
And so we won't have a show on the 29th. That's the Tuesday after the festival. I think it's the 29th. Yeah, 29th. And then we will not have a show on Election Day, which is November 5th, also a Tuesday. We want everybody to get out and vote. So that is all for this week. And we will see you next Tuesday on another episode of Black Authors Matter TV. I'm Gwen Richardson signing off.
And I'm Dr. Rhonda Lawson. Have a wonderful evening and a great week.
Thank you for tuning in and join us next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern for another edition of Black Authors Matter TV.